Zara wiped the floor quietly in the large hotel lobby. The night was calm, and most guests had already gone to their rooms. The soft hum of the air conditioners mixed with the faint sound of city traffic outside. She moved carefully, making sure not to disturb the silence. Her job was simple but tiring. She cleaned floors, emptied trash, and arranged chairs. Zara did not complain. She needed this work to survive in a city far from home. The hotel was big and busy during the day, but at night it was mostly empty, just her and the cleaning staff. Suddenly, a phone on the nearby counter started ringing. It was an old hotel phone that many ignored. Zara looked around. No one else was near. She walked over and picked it up. "Hello?" She answered softly. But her voice was different now, calm and clear, speaking in perfect Dutch. The voice on the other side was quiet and tense. Zara's eyes grew sad, and for a moment her hands trembled. She spoke slowly, carefully choosing her words. A few feet away, a man in a dark suit stopped walking. His name was Mr. James. He was a wealthy businessman who was staying at the hotel for a meeting. He had just finished his dinner and was about to return to his room when he heard the phone ring and Zara's strange voice. Mr. James stood still, listening. He had never heard such clear Dutch in a place like this. Curious, he quietly moved closer, careful not to be noticed. Zara said, "I will try my best. Please tell them I will call again soon." Her voice was steady, but there was a sadness that touched Mr. James's heart. Who was she speaking to? Why did she sound so confident but also worried? Mr. James's mind began to race. A hotel cleaner who speaks Dutch? That was unusual. Most people working in such jobs did not speak foreign languages well, especially not a difficult language like Dutch. He wondered, what is her story? Why is she hiding it? Zara put the phone down gently and took a deep breath. She looked around to make sure no one had heard. Then she went back to her cleaning, but her thoughts were far away. Mr. James watched her. He noticed something else. Her hands were rough and red from hard work, but her eyes were sharp and full of secrets. The hotel was quiet again, but Mr. James's curiosity had grown too strong to ignore. He decided to learn more about this woman who spoke Dutch and carried sadness in her voice. Meanwhile, Zara sat for a moment in the empty break room. She looked at her phone but did not call back. The conversation had been about something important and dangerous. She was scared. If the wrong people knew who she really was, her life could be in danger. She thought about her past, a past she tried to forget but could never leave behind. She had left her country many years ago. She had to hide her true identity to survive in this new place. Now, working as a cleaner in this hotel was her way to stay safe and unnoticed. But the call reminded her of old fears. Back in the lobby, Mr. James made a decision. Tomorrow he would try to talk to Zara. He wanted to understand why a simple hotel cleaner could speak Dutch so well. What was she hiding? At night, the hotel was silent again. Zara finished her work and left quietly, walking into the dark streets. She knew her life was about to change, but did not know how. Mr. James sat in his room, thinking about the woman's voice. He felt a strange connection, but could not explain it. The next day, Mr. James searched for Zara. He asked the hotel staff, but no one knew much about her. Zara was quiet, kept to herself, and never spoke about her past. When he finally found her, she was mopping the floor with her usual calmness. He stood beside her quietly and said, "You speak Dutch very well. Where did you learn it?" Zara looked at him with surprise and a little fear. She wanted to say nothing, but something inside made her answer. "I come from far away," she said softly. "It is a language I learned long ago." Mr. James nodded slowly, not wanting to push too much. "I want to help you," he said. "You don't have to be afraid here." Zara wanted to believe him, but the memories of her past made her close her heart. Still, a small hope began to grow. What secret was Zara hiding? Why did the millionaire care so much? And what would happen next? The story was just beginning. The morning sun peeked through the tall windows of the hotel lobby. The air was filled with the usual noise of guests checking out, staff moving about, and the smell of fresh coffee. But inside, Mr. James's mind was still full of questions about Zara. He sat at the hotel cafe, sipping his coffee slowly, watching the cleaners move quickly through the lobby. His eyes kept searching for Zara. She was quiet, always busy, and didn't talk much to anyone. But her voice, the clear Dutch she spoke the night before, stayed in his mind like a puzzle waiting to be solved. Mr. James had traveled all over the world. He had met many people, but something about Zara was different. It was not just her language skill. There was something hidden in her eyes, something sad, but also strong. He wondered why she worked as a cleaner when she clearly had the intelligence and skills to do more. Was she hiding from something? Or someone? His thoughts were interrupted by the hotel manager, Mr. Clark, who approached his table with a polite smile. "Good morning, Mr. James," he said. "Is there anything I can help you with today?" Mr. James looked up and smiled slightly. "Yes, actually. I want to know more about one of your staff. Zara, the cleaner, she's special." Mr. Clark raised his eyebrows. "Zara. She is very quiet, keeps to herself mostly, but she is hard-working and honest. Why do you ask?" Mr. James hesitated. "She speaks Dutch fluently. I overheard her last night on the phone. That is unusual for a hotel cleaner." Mr. Clark nodded slowly. "I see. Well, Zara came here a few years ago. Not much is known about her past. She doesn't share much with us. Sometimes I wonder why someone with her talent would work here." Mr. James thanked him and finished his coffee. He decided to watch Zara more closely that day. As the day passed, Zara moved through the hotel with quiet grace. She smiled at a child, helped an elderly guest find the elevator, and worked hard to keep everything clean. But she always kept a little distance from others. During her lunch break, Zara sat alone in a small corner. She looked at a small photo she kept hidden in her pocket, a picture of a young girl and an older woman smiling in a sunny field. Her mind drifted to the Netherlands, to the life she had left behind. The memories were both beautiful and painful. She remembered her mother's gentle hands, her father's laughter, and the day everything changed. Suddenly her phone vibrated. It was a message from an unknown number. "Be careful, they are watching." Zara's heart raced. She looked around quickly. No one seemed to notice her. Who was watching her? Was her past coming back to find her? Mr. James was still curious. He wanted to help but didn't want to scare her. Later that evening, he found her again in the lobby. This time, he spoke softly. "Zara," he said, "I don't know your story, but I want you to know. You don't have to be afraid here." Zara looked into his eyes, searching for honesty. "Why do you care?" she asked quietly. "Because sometimes," Mr. James replied, "people like us need each other, and sometimes the strongest people are the quiet ones." Zara's eyes filled with tears. No one had ever said that to her before. But deep inside, she still wondered if she could trust him. Her secret was heavy. It was not just a language or a job. It was her whole life. As she wiped her tears, a cold wind blew through the open lobby doors. It was a reminder that the outside world was not always kind. That night, Zara lay awake thinking about Mr. James's words. Could she find safety in this stranger's kindness? Or was she stepping into a new danger? The questions stayed with her as sleep slowly took over. Zara woke up early the next morning. The sunlight was soft and warm through the window of her small rented room. She looked around the plain room, just a bed, a small table, and a few clothes neatly folded. It was simple, but it was her safe place. She touched the photo she kept hidden beneath her pillow, the one of the young girl and the older woman smiling in the Netherlands. That photo was all she had left of her family. Her heart ached when she looked at it. Many years ago, Zara had lived in a quiet village far away. Life was not easy, but it was peaceful. She loved her family dearly. Her mother was kind and gentle. Her father was strong and proud. But one day, everything changed. A group of strangers came to the village. They were dangerous people, and they wanted something from Zara's family. Her parents refused to give in. They wanted to protect their home and their daughter. The night they came, Zara was only a child. She hid in a small closet while she heard shouting and crying outside. Her heart pounded with fear. When the danger passed, her family was gone. The village was empty. Zara had nowhere to go. She ran far away, across borders and countries, until she reached this city. Since then, she had lived in hiding. She changed her name and her story. She learned new languages, including Dutch, to survive, but the past was never far behind. That morning, Zara received another message on her phone. This time, it was clearer. "We know where you are. Be ready." Fear gripped her. She knew those people could come for her again, but she could not run anymore. She needed help. Meanwhile, Mr. James continued to watch her from a distance. He had done some research and found out that Zara was more than just a cleaner. She was intelligent and talented, but had chosen to hide. One afternoon, he invited her to sit in the hotel cafe during her break. "Zara," he said gently, "I want to help you. You don't have to carry your burden alone." Zara looked at him, tears in her eyes. "Why would you help me? You don't know me." Mr. James smiled softly. "Maybe I don't, but I believe everyone deserves a second chance." Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden noise outside. Zara's phone buzzed again. She read the message quickly and felt her breath catch. "They are coming," she whispered. Mr. James stood up quickly. "Who? What is happening?" Zara hesitated, then nodded. "My past. It is catching up to." Mr. James made a decision. "We will face it together." As the sun set behind the city buildings, Zara and Mr. James prepared for what was coming. The quiet life she had tried to build was about to change forever. The night was dark and cold. The city lights flickered, but inside the hotel, Zara felt a strange calm. She knew the danger was near. Her hands trembled slightly as she packed. A small bag with a few clothes and the precious photo she never left behind. Mr. James was waiting outside her small room. His face was serious but kind. "We have to move quickly," he said. "I'll help you." Zara nodded, trying to keep her fear hidden. She trusted him, but the weight of her past felt heavier than ever. They stepped out into the quiet street. The air was thick with tension. Zara glanced behind them, her eyes sharp. Every shadow seemed to hide a threat. As they walked toward the car, a black van slowly stopped nearby. Two men stepped out. Zara's heart pounded. She recognized them, men from her past, the ones who had chased her all these years. "Run!" Mr. James shouted, pulling Zara into the car. The van's engine roared as the men gave chase. The city, streets blurred as Mr. James drove fast, weaving through traffic. Zara's mind raced. Why were they after her now? What did they want? Mr. James glanced at her. "Who are they? What do they want from you?" Zara took a deep breath. "It's a long story. My family had something valuable. These men want it back. They will not stop." Mr. James nodded. "We will find a way to keep you safe. I promise." They drove to a small, hidden house outside the city. It was quiet and secure, a place where no one would find them easily. Inside, Zara finally let her guard down. She looked at Mr. James with gratitude. "Thank you for saving me." He smiled softly. "We're just getting started." But safety was temporary. The next day, a letter arrived. It was from the men who chased her. They demanded she return what was theirs, or face the consequences. Zara's hands shook as she read the words. Mr. James stood beside her, ready to help. "We must be smart," he said. "We will face them, but on our terms." Zara nodded, feeling stronger with him by her side. As night fell again, they prepared for the fight ahead. Zara's past was not finished with her, but now she was not alone. The morning sun peeked through, the curtains casting a soft light into the quiet house. Zara sat at the small kitchen table, her fingers nervously tracing the edge of a worn notebook. Mr. James stood by the window, looking out at the empty street, deep in thought. They both knew the danger was not going away. The men who hunted Zara were powerful and ruthless, but now they had a chance. A plan. Zara cleared her throat. "We need to stop running," she said quietly. "If they want something from my family, we must find out what it is first. Then we can use it to our advantage." Mr. James turned. To her, eyes sharp. "Do you have any idea where to start?" Zara nodded slowly. "There is an old warehouse where my family used to keep important things. It might still hold clues." The two made a decision. They would go there, but carefully and secretly. Mr. James called some trusted friends, asking for help without explaining too much. Zara felt a mix of hope and fear. That night, they prepared to leave. Zara packed light, but took the photo of her family again. "This is why I must do this," she said softly. They drove to the warehouse, hidden behind tall trees and forgotten buildings. The place looked empty, but Zara's heart raced with memories. Inside, dust covered old boxes and crates. Zara carefully opened one and found papers, letters, and a small wooden box. Her hands trembled as she lifted it. Inside the box was a shining key and a letter from her father. The letter explained that the key opened a safe place where her family kept something very valuable, a secret that could change everything. Mr. James looked at the key with interest. This might be what they want. Suddenly, footsteps echoed outside. They froze. Someone was coming. Zara whispered, "We must hide." They slipped behind the crates as the door creaked open. Two men entered, speaking low voices. Zara recognized them as the same men who chased her. The men searched the warehouse but didn't find Zara and Mr. James. After a tense few minutes, the next morning, Zara and Mr. James prepared to use the key. The letter from Zara's father gave them directions to a hidden place, a small old house at the edge of the village where her family once lived. The journey was quiet, but full of tension. Zara looked out the car window, her mind filled with memories she had tried to forget. Mr. James sat beside her, offering silent support. When they reached the village, it was almost empty. The houses were worn down, and the streets were quiet. Zara's heart ached seeing the place she once called home. They found the old house easily. It was small and covered with vines. The door was locked, but the key fit perfectly. Inside, the air was thick with dust and memories. Zara walked carefully, touching old furniture and pictures on the walls. It felt like time had stopped here. They searched the house room by room until they found a hidden floorboard under a rug. Zara's hands trembled as she lifted it, revealing a small metal box. Mr. James helped open it. Inside were papers, old photos, and a small book. Zara opened the book. It was a diary, her father's diary. She began to read aloud, voice shaking. "My dear Zara, if you are reading this, it means danger is near. Our family hid something important, a secret that could protect us from those who wish to harm. You must be strong and brave." As Zara read, tears filled her eyes. The diary explained how her family had protected a valuable invention, an idea that could change many lives. Mr. James looked at her, understanding the importance. "This is what the men want." Suddenly, they heard a noise outside. Zara froze. Mr. James whispered, "We must move. Now." They packed the diary and papers quickly and left the house. Outside, shadows moved between the trees. The men from her past were close. They ran toward the car, hearts pounding. Mr. James started the engine and they sped away. As they drove into the night, Zara felt hope mixed with fear. The secret was uncovered, but the danger was greater than. I left, frustrated. When it was safe again, Zara sighed with relief. "We are close," she said. Back at the house, they studied the letter and the key. Zara's heart beat faster. The secret was near, but so was danger. Mr. James promised, "We will protect you no matter what." Zara smiled faintly, feeling a spark of courage. The city lights blinked outside the car window as Zara and Mr. James drove away from the shadows that chased them. Her heart still pounded, but there was a new feeling growing inside. Hope. They reached a quiet safe house arranged by Mr. James's trusted friends. Inside, Zara spread out the diary and papers on the table. The story of her family's secret invention was clear now. It was something that could help many people, but it had been hidden for safety. Mr. James looked at Zara. "This invention can save your family's name and maybe even bring you a new life." Zara nodded slowly. "But the men who want it are dangerous. We need a plan." Together, they contacted trusted people who could help protect the invention and bring it to the right hands. Days passed, and with careful steps they moved forward. Zara learned to trust again and to believe in a future where her family's secret could make a difference. One afternoon, a meeting was arranged with experts who understood the invention's power. Zara explained everything she knew. The experts promised to keep the secret safe and to help make it real. Meanwhile, the men who chased Zara were caught by the police, thanks to evidence Mr. James and his friends gathered. Zara felt relief, but knew her journey was just beginning. One evening, as the sun set, Mr. James and Zara sat quietly. "You are stronger than you know," he said gently. Zara smiled, feeling a warmth she had not felt for years. Her past had been dark, full of fear and running. But now, with the truth uncovered and allies by her side, she could finally dream of a new beginning. The road ahead was still uncertain, but for the first time Zara believed in hope.